prepped in regards to chat. Just want to get the Celtic stuff over and done with today. It's been a busy couple of days in general in life. That's why I haven't been doing much content, and I do apologise. The channel, with the size it is, should be getting a daily content, but I just haven't had the time to be putting in the effort I would love to put in. But so yes, big week ahead for Celtic. We're kicking off our Europa League campaign tomorrow in Belgrade. 8 o'clock kick-off Celtic Park time. A first game of a busy schedule in Europe, as Celtic want to try and make a statement that they can actually compete in the Europa League after missing out on the Champions League qualification to Almaty in Kazakhstan. So hopefully people can join me tonight, have a chat with me, tell me your thoughts on the game against Partick. Tell me your thoughts on the whole situation with the fans, majority of fans making a stance towards the board, towards the business side of the club. Tell us how you're feeling about Taneki, Inacho, other players. It's not going to be easy one tomorrow night. I'm actually dreading this game, to be honest, but these are the games where you think will we turn up, and sometimes they do turn up. Like we go back to Atalanta last year. I remember that game. I was looking on into that game with no hopes at all, and we got a big point. But I would take a point tomorrow against Red Star Belgrade. They've played over 20, I think it's 24 games so far this season in the league in Serbia, and they're on top of the league. And then Partizan Belgrade are second in that league as well. So let me know if there's any comments. Let's see if there's any comments coming through. All live comments are visible, so just comment below, folks. It's just been the channel has just been strange over the last couple of months. I'm finding that I'm struggling to make videos about Celtic because it's infuriating when you want to talk about the team, you want to talk about players, you want to talk about games, but at the same time, you know in the background that this season could have been a bit better. We could have been playing the Champions League last week against Sporting Lisbon. We could have been playing the Champions League instead of a team that's from Kazakhstan. And look, they deserve the Beatles at the end of the day. We were brutal, but it's just a weird scenario we're in where we have a player that wants to leave Celtic, Maeda. He wanted to move, and the move was blocked, and there was other clubs interested in Maeda as well at the time in the last transfer window. The goalkeeping situation, I do love Kasper Schmeichel, but I love to see Sinsalo get a run tomorrow night in the Europa League. Look at Red Star are gonna have their tails up. They'll want to. This is the team that will have won the European Cup as well in their history as well. So playing against a team that's previously won it, it's always good. Look, it's a intimidating place. I'm sure there'll be a good few fans travelling to Belgrade to cheer the boys on. It looks like still a lot of tickets available for the Sturm Graz game next month as well at Celtic Park. Are we surprised? Not really, because a lot of fans are just annoyed. A lot of fans have had enough of this board. A lot of fans are starting to realise that, the message is out there clear. Some fans that say, I don't know why you're moaning, why is are so self-entitled, or being so domestic, why is moaning, I just can't get my head around it. Well, I just say to that set of fans that think that, I think it's cheap for other fans to criticise our own supporters, because at the end of the day, we have moved backwards. We have moved backwards in regards to spending the money the right way. Spending money the right way, and what I mean by that is 77 million recorded on the financial report there on Friday. After player sales, after Champions League campaign last year, after trophies, winning the league and winning the League Cup. But yeah, what will happen? The board will probably give themselves a tap on the back and put the salaries up. And I just think Celtic fans have had enough of it. And I think some of them just don't understand the circumstances why we're concerned. Fans don't want to hear about the bank sheets, about the bank balance. They want to see money being put into that team to compete. And when I mean compete, if we were playing a Benfica or someone in the playoff round and it was a much better side than Almaty and we got beaten, fair enough. You can say, right, we're into Europa League. That's understandable. That's it. But the fashion that we've been let down, Malmo, Maribor, AK Athens, Midtjylland, who else has beaten us in the Champions League qualifiers? Ferencváros and then Almaty. And people think this is all right. Oh, we'll go into the Europa League, we'll win the league, we'll win the cups, and then that's it, fine. Sugar, just cover all the cracks. It's not like that, folks. We have such a massive club, a big marketing set where we have 60,000 seater stadium. We have one of the best fan bases in the world. We have a rich history. We have a certain way we play football, direct football, enjoyable football, and it hasn't been like that. Fair enough. We had a good performance against Partick. Played okay in the second half against Kilmarnock the previous week. And yeah, it may take time for Brendan's team to get the engine going in this season. But at the same time, he should have been backed. Should have been backed with a bit. Like, we could have had Taneki in 3 weeks before that. 3 weeks before the window. And think it could have made a difference. It could have made a difference maybe in Kazakhstan. We could have had a Nacho in, even though a Nacho's contract was terminated on transfer deadline day from Sevilla, but could have been a different scenario. And look, I came out and said it in January about Nacho. He fobbed us off for Middlesbrough, but time to forget about that kind of stuff. Time to move on. And lovely assist from the other day at Partick for Taneki's goal. And look, it's good to see Liam Scale scoring as well. Good to see Yang score, even though Yang doesn't want to be at Celtic. Yang wants to play first team football, and that's understandable. At the end of the day, when you're a footballer, what you want to do, you want to play as much football as you want, as you can, and enjoy your career, not to be sitting on the bench. And let's be honest, yeah, Yang coming from a team in South Korea I never heard before coming to Celtic was always going to be too much of a big step for him. But hopefully he gets a move in January and he moves on to, if it's Birmingham or if it's someone in England or someone in Europe, hopefully he gets a move because hopefully we'll have Jota back by then. Look at Taneki and Jota. Sounds exciting. And we need to start looking at this time and start looking in the window and saying, right, when the window opens in January, my aid is going to go. We need to replace my aid. We need to get someone in, Top fans. How's it going, the ship and the cat? Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Really good to see you in. Really good to see about 7 people in. And look, I just want to put it out there to you again. I apologise. I don't get on much. I apologise that I haven't been active. I'll be brutally honest with you. I'm just feel drained talking about the same kind of stuff all the time. The same concept of seeing how I feel about the board, the shy style of football that we've been playing. But we were always going to be favourites against Partick, and look, a 4-0 victory. We're into the semi-finals against Rangers on the first week in November, and we need to move forward. And tomorrow, I might do a watch along for the game tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm in 2 minds about it. I might do a watch along, go live and chat to you. It's on at 8 o'clock, so give me time to think about it. But as I said, I just want to apologise to you, and I haven't been active and I haven't put the the videos in like I usually do. It's just been busy. Simple as I can't make excuses. It's been mentally draining to think about Celtic at this moment in time. But I have been doing stuff on other socials like putting up throwback videos and goals and stuff. I can't do that on YouTube for copyright reasons. So sorry I can't share that entertainment here, but you know. No, it just Jack, look, Jack, this is like, I know you're saying don't need to apologize, but I feel like I do because what happens is what happens is it's not even to do with my health. My health brand new. I'm good. Me mental health and me physical health's good. It's I've just been busy. I just can't fit everything in. I can't fit my job in, my relationship in, seeing me kids, trying to do content. It's getting too much for me. And it's not me saying I'm gonna step away from the channel in any shape or mind. I just need to be in a good frame of mind. I need to be kind of I'm just looking at other podcasts and they're all feeling the same frustration. They're all feeling the same frustration. They're all feeling, feel a bit angry, frustrated with the boards, that the lack of engagement to them reaching out to us. And then today that according they wanted a meeting with certain groups of Celtics fans over the security concerns over the last derby, home derby on the 16th of March, and Celtic fans turned it down. Sure, right. What's the point? Like Michael Nicholson, Chris McCoy showed the real colours on Sunday when they were looking at the phones and the fans had their signs up. Get them out. Get them out. I don't care if they're qualified. I don't care if they have the bank the bank account in green. What I care about is our team moving forward. We shouldn't be in the Europa League. Simple as. And I know that sounds very, very self-entitled because we could get an absolute smashing tomorrow by Red Star Belgrade, and I'm saying, well, you know what? Maybe we're not Europa League team. Some really good teams in this Europa League we're going to be playing against. Braga, Midtjylland, Utrecht. Sturm Graz won't be a pushover, folks. They won't be a pushover. Roma is going to be a really tough game at home as well. But I think this whole fans versus the board is going to go on all season. So you're going to see it at the games. And I know some of you that are watching this channel tonight are saying, Keith, I don't really care about that side of it. I just care about the team. I know you do. And I know that's frustrating for you. But I cared about everything. I cared about sitting there and watching that game, if it's in my gaff or if it's in the pub, and seeing what the fans are saying. Because at the end of the day, the fans are the 12th man. The fans are the 12th man, and for them to be silenced with the way the board are just pushed them to the side, it's very unfair. It's very, very unfair. It just makes them feel like it just makes them feel low. And the Celtic fans have been a phenomenal set of fans for a long, long time. Always travelled everywhere. From the early days the club has been set up, from the days of Brother Wolford, to Seville in 2003, to today. They always go everywhere to watch the club. Far and wide to Kazakhstan to watch us, as I've seen a few lads did. A couple of hundred did. Fair play to them. But no, look, as I said, it's nothing to do with health. My health is in a good place, folks, and it's just down to my full-time job. It's down to me family, and that's the reason why I haven't been on. And I said I get a bit of time tonight just to come on and chat to you and give you a wee update that the channel has been put to a slow back burner because I've too much going on, and it kills me saying that. It really does. The bottom of my heart, I feel like I owe you something, because you are the one that subscribe, you are the one that wants to hear the updates, you want to hear my opinion, brutal opinion. But way I see it is, what's the point of me coming on and repeat myself? I get done in doing it. I get done in sitting here and saying the same stuff that you heard the week before. Someone else might be saying something similar. It can be mentally draining. But I'm gonna go through the comments. Score prediction for tomorrow, Aaron. I'd say it's gonna be 1-1 tomorrow. I fancy a 1-1 draw tomorrow. My starting lineup, if I have a prediction, would be I love to play Salo tomorrow. Donovan, Sriracha instead of Tierney. Bring Tierney on the second half. Carter Vickers, Scales, McGregor, Bernardo, Itate, Negrin, Taneki, and my 8 in the middle. And bring a Nacho on the second half. Look, we got to think about as well. We've Hibs the weekend. The league is the bread and butter. As much as we moan about not getting the Champions League or in the Europa League, Hibs on Saturday, to me, is a bigger game than Red Star Belgrade. Because we need to keep going and going in the league. We need to start getting this football to the level it should be at. Because as I made it clear, as much as we're at the top of the league, some of the performances are not even near third gear yet, and that's weird to say that. Even though we're winning games, it's a strange place being a supporter of Celtic at the moment. I met a guy in my job a couple of weeks ago, saying he's a season ticket holder, 25 years, and even he said it. He goes, it's weird supporting Celtic at the moment. It's just a weird vibe. It's like you're trying not to think about the whole against the board, and I'm all in for it. I don't care that people call me a happy clapper, if people call me this and call me that. I'm entitled to my opinion. This is why I have my channel. I've been saying it for fucking months before all these actions were done. I've been saying it for months that this board are robbing fans blind with the price of tickets, the merchandise prices. There's some teams that are selling jerseys for 60 quid. Why is their jersey 70 quid? Because we're an elite club. Elite club. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So I've made a stance with myself where I said, you know what? As much as I want to buy more Celtic merchandise because I love wearing whatever we have this season and seasons before, I'm not going to buy any more merchandise. Simple as. I'm not going to buy any merchandise. I'm not even that motivated to go and see the team at the moment because of all this negativity around the club. It's very hard. But do I watch the games? Of course I do. I missed the first half an hour the other day because I was flying. I was on a plane, but you know, once I landed, straight onto the phone, straight onto Premier Sports. We were 2-0 up at that time, and obviously got the second half in. Got Taneki. Taneki just looks good. He's just sharp. Like Jota's gonna find it hard to get back into that team if Taneki's playing that style of football. And look, his stats wasn't the most comprehensive in Sweden. He's like 20 goals or 20 games, 1 goal. That was kind of, having a bit if about it. But he's done well, the Tunisian boy, and he's around a good crop of players, and he can only go better and better. And he's opened his account. And Nacho's opened his account, and what's the most important thing? Walking Sunday sucks. I'm in the same boat. So my nephews took my season book. Johnson and Ralston will find it hard to keep Donovan at a team. I don't think so, Kenny. To be honest with you, Kenny, I think it'll be probably Donovan. Look, obviously Kobe Donovan's done well. So he's stepped in for Ralston, but Alistair Johnson is doing well. He's ahead of schedule. He had an interview there the other day with Off the Park, a Canadian podcast. One of my followers, Kevin Caban, that played for the Irish team, he's a part of that podcast, and I seen snips of it, and Alistair's dying to get back and playing for us, and what a guy he is, what a guy he's offered. But Donovan has been brilliant. He's been really, really good, and you could just see that he is really, really gripping it, playing in the senior team, striving. And yeah, every player has a few misstrayed passes, but the way he gets up that pitch, the way he gets stuck in, he's just very direct. And I would pick him. I'd have him as a second choice right back for the rest of the season over Ralston. when Ralston's fit. Obviously, Alistair number one. I think a lot of people will probably be in agreement. But if he does start tomorrow night, which is a good chance he will, um, it's another European game of experience for him. Even though he did come on against Almaty over in Kazakhstan, but I think this is AJ's last season. Well, he has he signed a long-term contract, so unless we cash out on him, unless like someone else comes in. On the same with the merchandise, won't buy any new stuff. Doesn't look as good as previous years. This year's top is what's going on with these comments? See, I don't really. Sometimes I go on to StreamYard to do this. Yeah, what a top! See this top. This top, I had originally the one with the Dafa bit on it. I gave it to the missus. I actually went out and bought this from Glasgow Celtic wear. So there's no sponsor on it. There's no magnets on the back of it as well. One of the best Celtic jerseys ever. What a beautiful top. But no, the way I look at it is, what's the point? You're making them richer. They're not putting the money into the team. They don't want to put the money into. They do not have the same ambition as fans. And what I mean, same ambition is they don't want to go to another level. They want to stay at the Scottish league level, winning the league, having a small, maybe doing all right in Europe, doing all right, and tapping each other on the back. Celtic should be going for more with the money in the bank. As I said, folks, if we only had 10 or 15 million after financial report, I could say I could understand where the board's coming from. Lay off the board, but I'm against it. I'm completely against it. I think the board should be taking the fans more serious. There should have been dialogue. There should have been more meetings. And fair dues to the Green Brigade. You know what? It's the whole lot. The Celtic Collective, it's called. The Celtic Collective of all these CSCs, these Celtic podcasts, these groups all come together and making a stance for what they believe in. We've had had domination of winning trebles and winning leagues and doubles and having a good run in the Champions League. Why can you not build from that? Why can you not build? As I said this a couple of times on the channel over the last few weeks, Brendan has said it. We were 2 or 3 players away from going to another level, and I feel like we've gone 2 or 3 players less, gone back a level. Haven't replaced Kyogo. Time will come. We haven't replaced Kyogo. Maeda wants out the door. Matt O'Reilly we haven't replaced. It'll take time. They knew Jota was going to be out long term. They didn't go out and replace Jota quick and efficient. They left that on the long burner. Yes, we got Sebastian Tanecki in, and we're all excited about having him in now and seeing what he's made of. And he's ready. You know, you like the way he can turn in, and you know the way his agility, his pace, the way he just skins players. You know, that's the type of player you want. And that's the way Celtic is built. Players that can play the Celtic way, that can get your arse off the seat and, you know, urging for it. Even though when they're 20 yards out, that bit of skill, that bit of magic. And I just feel like we have been missing that magic a lot, especially at the start of the season. But it'll be good to see Tierney and Tanecki, you know, linking up. And when Johnston comes back, hopefully we'll see him and Nygren linking up as well. I'm excited. I think Nygren will come into his game, and I know people are kind of checked out on Arnie Ingles because he's price tag and he hasn't cut it. But I think Arnie Ingles will come to his game this season. It's just we've competition at midfield. We really do have competition, and McCown took his goal well on Sunday against Partick. Will we see him start tomorrow? Probably not. You know, he'll start McGregor. I wonder if it actually will. I wonder if he'll actually wear one of our other kits. So far this season we wore the hoops for every game. We haven't wore the black kit, we haven't wore the white kit. We didn't even wear the white kit in bleeding pre-season. What a shambles. What a shambles. What's the point bringing merch if you're not going to even use it? This is the typical. Look, I know first preference will always be hoops, the iconic hoops, but we haven't even worn any of the away kits yet. I know some people might think in the comments, doesn't matter what kit you wear, Keith, once the badge is on it, that's what matters. You know, So let me know in the comments what you think. I'd like to see us wear the black kit tomorrow against Red Star Belgrade. Does anyone know in the comments how many fans are travelling over? Is there a couple of thousand travelling over to Belgrade? It's a very hostile ground. I like the way it's a bit of an oval to it as well. Um, we played Red Star Belgrade back in 1968, and look at they won the European Cup as well in their history. What year did they actually win it? Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Even though this is the Europa League we're going to be playing in, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Red Star Belgrade, where are they on this marvellous trophy? They won it in 1991, folks. They won it in 1991. I wonder who they played in the final in 1991. Paul the Tim is already there. He's always there. Fair play to him. He goes to every game. Wish I had the money and the free time to go to every Celtic game or go to a game at all, but I don't have that privilege. This trophy needs a bit of a polish. It needs a bit of a it's on its way out. I've had it for so long. I've had it since 2019 actually. But yeah, it's good to see you in, Mark. Good to see you in. See you in. But guessed it. Beat Marseille in the final. Marseille. PSG looking a bit wobbly at the moment. Donnarumma believing he's shook them a bit. I don't worry about PSG. We focus on us. Focus on the champions. Around 1,500 have travelled, but there will be more in the stadium. That's good. That's pretty good. That there's been loads gone over. Look, it's gone. Sure, what's it? Do you have the tunnel? Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. The gates of hell. If I put in the right words. We need to progress in the Europa League, Keith. After last season's good campaign in the Champions League, we need to qualify for the next round. I agree with you, Toy Film, but I don't think we have that quality I don't think we have that trust in our strikers to progress to the next round, to do well in the Europa League. If I'll give you a prediction now for the Europa League I think we'll beat Strong Rats. We'll beat Braga. Braga will be a hard one, I think, to be honest. We'll beat Utrecht, even though Barkas will probably have a storm of a game against us. We're away to Feyenoord in Rotterdam. I don't see us beating Feyenoord, folks. Feyenoord actually beat Ajax not Ajax, PSV the weekend. I can't see us beating Feyenoord. We got an absolute scalping against Feyenoord. We went down to 9 men in the Champions League campaign 2 seasons before that, even though we beat them at Celtic Park in the last fixture. Who else do we have away? Midtjylland away. Tough game. Don't know about that one. They're not as strong as they were, Midtjylland. Who's the last away game we have? We have Red Star, we have Feyenoord, we have Midtjylland. I'm missing one team here on the fixtures. One team. What team am I missing on the away fixture? Oh, Bologna. Shit, Bologna. Bologna be a tough one. I think we could get something in Bologna. Definitely. Bologna. I think we can get something in Bologna. You know. They're a good team. Lewis Ferguson plays for them. They're a decent side. They won the Coppa Italia last season. Maybe 12 points. 12 points was get us into the might get us in actually automatic qualification, you know. Depends what Feyenoord are turning up. That's the thing. Chris, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Belgrade, as I said this at the draw. The draw was made. Belgrade was always going to be a tough one, but if Brandon can get the best out of his team and give Taneki a lot of the ball, give Negron on the right wing the ball, and then I'd play Maeda through the middle. I think Maeda has to make a point in Europe after fucking up so much in Almaty. I think Maeda has been a great servant, but I think he needs to turn up. He has experience of playing in Champions League. He's scored in the Champions League. He scored against Dortmund away last year. Who else did he score against away in the Champions League last year? It was mostly home games, wasn't he? He scored. He scored 4 goals in the Champions League. Did he score against anyone else away in the Champions League last year? It was just against Bratislava. Was it Bruges and Dortmund? 14 points, 10 at home, 4 away. That's a bold prediction, Pete McLaughlin. But you know what? You might be right in that. You might be right in that. We'll see. We'll see. So put in the comments your starting lineup for tomorrow. Would you go for Sinsalo? I think he looks quite steady. I think you need to play him in games and look at it. It's not saying that the Europa League's not the most important trophy to us this season. I know Brendan came out and kind of says, look, we could learn from what happened in 2003 where Celtic obviously didn't qualify for the Champions League in 2003. They were beaten by Basel in the kind of the third round, whatever it was, playoffs, and they went into Euro. We went into the UEFA Cup, and then look what happened. Never say never in football. The final is in Istanbul. I know it's a crazy way to talk about Europa League final, and we haven't kicked the ball in the Europa League yet. But the finals in the finals in Istanbul in Besiktas Stadium. So Sinsalo, Donovan Murray will be great for the first 2 games. I'd like to see obviously Dane Murray get a game in Europe. But I'd have one eye on Saturday. I really would have one eye on Saturday. I think Hibs are not going to be an easy team. After them losing at Ibrox last week, I know that was in the cup. They'll want to keep doing well in the league. So we'll talk about Hibs after this game. But would you like me to do a watch along tomorrow for the game? I moved to Australia in February. My luck, they'll make a European final. Look, I'm sure wherever you go in Australia, there'll be a Celtic supporters group, and I know you'd want to be there if we were to make a final. Of course, you would want to be there. You know, I'd be taking the credit union loan out if we get to Istanbul, big time. It'd be some sesh. I wouldn't even care about the game. I just want to get there and enjoy the moments with the fans. But yeah, typical. No, you'll go with Scales and Carter Vickers tomorrow. You'll want to put out his strongest team as you can, because in case that there's a mauling around the corner, you'll swim to Turkey if needs be. just get someone just get a cheap car and put loads of juice into it. Get someone to drive from Glasgow all the way over to Turkey. Nah, look, there's loads of ways now to get to Turkey. Cheaper flights, there's loads of different airports to go to get there. But let's get through Belgrade tomorrow. Let's get through Belgrade. Let's get through Rotterdam. Let's get through Bologna. Let's get through Midtjylland in Denmark. All tough games. Europa League. I've always said this about the Europa League, folks, and I know people might laugh at this, but Europa League is a harder competition to win than the Champions League, because the Champions League, you're going against 5 or 6 really funded teams. The Europa League has that bigger incentive than the Champions League, where these teams are at a certain level. Some teams are like maybe finishing 5th or 6th in the league, and they missed out the Champions League by a playoff, and they'll want to get into the Champions League next season by winning the Europa League, because they may be having a bad domestic season as well, so they prioritise winning the Europa League. And it's been so serious that teams have been taking it since that Champions League place has been put into it since 2009. So far as I remember, the first time they actually when they introduced the Champions League spot was actually the UEFA Cup final at Hampden. I think it was Sevilla and Shakhtar, if I'm correct, at Hampden. I think that was 2008, or not 2008, 2009, if I'm correct. Postecoglou prioritised Europe over the league with Spurs. Despite success, it cost him his job. But look at the Europa League. Spurs won it last year. Man United was in the final, and but the thing was, it wasn't even cost his job, Mark. It was just Daniel Levy's Daniel Levy just being an absolute swine, to be honest. That's the problem with Levy. Levy's at the stepping down as well, I suppose. So he's just an arsehole, Daniel Levy. Sensalo will be a keeper who will sell for 20 million in the next few seasons. Well, he needs to play games. He's Denmark's number two, or not Denmark's number two, Finland's number two, and he has to play games. You know, but Ange prioritised the league over Bodø/Glimt. See, the thing is, we look back at that time, we were like pissed off that we got absolutely annihilated by Bodø/Glimt that night. But you look at the story of Bodø/Glimt, where they've went since then. They've got the Europa League semi-finals. They hammered Roma a couple of years back. They're just a really good club that runs smoothly. And Newson has he gets a portion of the sales as well. If I had my way, if Brendan was to leave any earlier, I would go for Newton, but I don't think Newton would leave Bodø/Glimt for Celtic, because he's having it handy there. He's building something there. He has. This is the thing what Brendan Rodgers doesn't have, what Newton has at Bodø/Glimt. Newton has more of a say in transfers. Do you think Brendan Rodgers gets a say in the transfers and the players that's brought into the club? I would say probably not. I'd say it's more so Nicholson and Lawwell. And I know someone said in the comments, I think Lawwell could be stepping down to health reasons. I don't want to speculate on Peter Lawwell's health. I don't know what's going on with Peter Lawwell's health. I don't know if he's on the way out. I don't know if he's the person that leaked job saying that that Brendan Rodgers is looking to get out of Celtic. I don't want to comment on that stuff, because I don't have any accurate information about it. It's all speculation. At the end of the day, I just want Peter Lawwell, Michael Nicholson, Chris McCoy, all out that door, and the rest of the board out the door, and get a new set of people that can bring freshness to the club, bring new ideas at board level, more engagement with the fans. I just feel like the questions that the fans want, they're not getting answered. You know? Yeah. How do you think we'll do tomorrow night? Alan says 1-1. Either it'll be 1-1 or either we'll be beaten 2-1. If we get a victory, happy bleeding days. We'll all be loving it. I'm just not optimistic about when the draw was made. I wasn't optimistic about Red Star Belgrade. Hostile ground, good side. The Serbians are all nuts. But if we have that flair on the wings and we're more direct in our play and stick a game to them, we could beat them. We could cause damage. And look, they're flying well. They're doing well in the league, but league goes out the window. It's Europa League and it's a European night, and it's under the lights. It's a Wednesday night. It's kind of good that the Europa League has their own kind of opening day set of fixtures over a couple of days. It's pretty good like that, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. It's going to be a hostile atmosphere. It will be. The board will just replace them with other money grabbing feckers. We need to get a voice to fans, and that's the thing. That's what's going to happen whenever the AGM is going to happens. It is going to feel like it is going to get very hostile. There is going to be a lot of heated exchanges. But do you blame the fans? Do you really blame the fans? I don't blame the fans. Like when I post up stuff on Facebook and Instagram and about the fans, about they're not getting listened to, you're getting these people comment below saying this. I just can't get my head around how the fans are being self-entitled. And I'm like, well, obviously they're not doing this for the sake of it. They're doing it for a reason. They're doing it because they're feeling like their club is not moving forward. They want answers. They want to see a vision. They want to know if eventually is money going to be pumped into the stadiums facilities. Yeah, Barrafield has been opened. Yes, it looks brilliant. That new indoor pitch looks fantastic. It's good for the women's team. It's good for the youth team. Fair enough, but you want to know what is the vision going forward. We have a stadium there that hasn't been upgraded since it was built in the early 2000s. What, a couple of disco lights on it? Celtic Way was done. That's about it. Superstar was upgraded. Come on. Yes, they painted the beams around Celtic Park, around that's all the stand up, but we need more. We really need more. And I I I don't believe in fans walking out in games, but they have to make a stance. They have to make a stance. As I said, it's not just a group of 50 individuals. This is at Kilmarnock. It was 75% of fans that didn't walk in until the 12th minute, and fair dues to them. Fair dues to them because it just shows that people are getting aside, people are getting on board, and I know there's a good chunkies that support the channel and are just not into it, and you just want to back the team, but do you want the team to be more better? Do you want the team to be more successful? Do you want the team to where we can have a conversation and say, well, just pick out someone here. I'm just going to put an example. Just say Kenny Dalglish, right? Senior. Kenny, we should be having a conversation saying, holy shit, Kenny, I really fancy our chance in the Europa League. I think we could go on and win this. I'm being realistic, like not living in Cougar land, me saying, I think we can actually make an account in this. But I'm not, because I feel like we've sold the big players over the last 12 months and we haven't not brought enough quality in. Don't get me wrong, we have the quantity there, but the quality needs to be shown. Can Nacho turn his career around? Over the last 2 years, Nacho has been absolutely poor for Sevilla, for Middlesbrough. But it looks like with that big goal at Kilmarnock, that will help his confidence. His assist the other day will help his confidence. Thank you very much, Mark Scott. Ibrox is more surely hostile, and we handle it. That is a great point. It is a good point. And you know what? I think I'm gonna give standing moderator. I'm gonna give yeah, we've been to a lot of hostile stadiums Celtic have over the years. There's no question about it. But it's not even about the noise, it's about the mentality. It's about getting the passes right. It's not about this tippy tappy football. And there wasn't a lot of it over the weekend because we were playing Partick, because we were Celtic should have been a possession place team anyway when you're playing against a team that's the division below you. So we need to go there whenever we have the ball, use it in the most productive way, not use it in like having like 5-6 minutes of the ball and not pushing up, not hitting them flanks, getting a bit of Taneki magic. You know, like as I said, I'd play Maeda ahead of Nacho. I'd bring a Nacho off the bench. I would actually start Sarachi over Tierney. I think Sarachi's more physical for this hostile environment. I just think, Tierney still have that doubt in my head. One bad tackle, he's gubbed for the season. That's what I feel about Tierney. So I'd put Sarachi in there. I think Donovan, would be a great experience for Donovan. I think Donovan could strive from an experience like this. Gets in there, throwing the deep end, gets stuck in. That's the way it is. These are title fans want to see the team move forward in Europe. Wait, let me see. I want to read this out. Terminator, how are we getting on? See the investment, but the squad, but which the board have failed to address. They haven't addressed it. And you look over these comments or look over these videos of Peter Lawwell saying, the fans are number one for us. Investing in the squad is number one. It's a load of nonsense. It's a load of nonsense. They don't want to engage with the fans. And sad to say, these are the guys in the beautiful balcony, the beautiful corporate boxes, drinking your hard-earned money to let them enjoy their lives and sit there and put a grumpy face on and look at their phones while the most important thing is not being done. A serious investment into the squad, and a serious investment should be a minimum of 30 million to 35 million per season. And we made over 100 million last year after tax. We made over 77 million this year after tax. So where's the money going? Where is the money going? Is it going on yachts? Is it going on golf trips? Is it going on something else? Is it just going to their pockets? Where is it going? That's what the fans want to know. Why is it not being put in a serious manner into the squad where if you put the money into that squad and that squad competes in the Champions League and gets the Champions League, there's another 60 million. There's another 60 million quid into the jar. 60 million in where you attract more better quality players. You get these younger players in that are 21, maybe from another club that have European experience, develop them, sell them on for big money, and it means that Celtic are winning trophies. We're selling them on. We're bringing in a bit of quality. Everyone's happy. We don't have these protests. We don't have people singing "sack the board" because right now it is an absolute mess. It is a mess, and all we need to do right now tomorrow is put that sack the board stuff behind us because we're away in Europe. Just turn up tomorrow, play our football to a level where we can compete, play Red Star Belgrade off that hostile pitch, get stuck in, get an early goal, and go out there with 3 points. 3 points. 3 points would be ideal. But I will see how I feel tomorrow. I will see if I'm up for coming on and doing a full watch along. It's a long time to sit there for 2.5 hours to do a watch along, but I will decide tomorrow. I'll do an update on the form tomorrow, as in like on the page saying I'll be live tonight or not. But anyways, we'll see. I understand there's a business and there's money to invest in the squad, but you have to get these players over the line. No more piss taking bids. Terminator, 100%. It is. We could have Taneki 2 weeks before that. I completely agree. It is the stubbornness of the board. It is the ego-ness of the board that they think because they're Celtic Football Club, because they've done it so long that look it, we'll put half the valuation in for Taneki. Taneki, with the type of player he is, he could be a 20 million player if he scores goals in Europe for the next 2 years. If it's Europa League or if we are successful next year in the Champions League, if we qualify, he could be a 20 million player. He's only young. He's only like 23 or something. I think he's 23. Yeah, 23. He could go for bigger bucks than Nicholas Kuhn. So I don't even know how Nicholas Kuhn's doing over in Como, to be honest with you. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. It is good speaking to you all. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. And P. McLaughlin says, we ain't a retailer, so that's why the obsession with profit is every single time. But that's the thing with them. They don't think like fans. I know it's a business and they want to run a business well. But at the end of the day, it just shows that they don't care about the fans. The evidence is out there. Premier Sports put the cameras on the fans and then on them, and they were sitting there looking at the phones, not giving an absolute toss about the fans. And how does that feel? How does that feel? I'd say another maybe 5% of fans have woken up after that and seen that and realised, well, you know what? This is not just a portion of so-called self-entitled or spoiled fans. They're not self-entitled and spoiled fans, folks. The work that these people are doing in the background of the Celtic Collective is unbelievable. The surveys, the meetings, they want the best for the club. They want the best for yous. They want the best for the team. These fans want to see us going to another level. And I think that's well capable in this climate of football where Celtic should go to another level. We're not thinking like Rangers ambition, we should be going to another level. They're fuck them, you know? Yeah. No one's asking the board to spend. But that's the truth. No one is asking the board to go out and spend ridiculous amount of money. Like Celtic is in the Scottish League. We can't attract certain players because of the wage structure, and that's understandable. You know, we can only attract players that are below maybe 35,000. And look at the Celtic model is when we bring a player in, we don't really particularly bring someone in at over 20 grand because the board like to keep cheap. go cheap with it so they can sell them for big bucks. And it means that they still have loads of money in the bank account. So I don't know how much Tierney's on, to be honest with you. Someone asked me that the other day. I don't know if Tierney's on over 30 grand. I don't know. But I'm gonna leave it there, folks. A really good chat with you tonight and enjoyed it. I will be back on maybe tomorrow night. I'll have to see what the story is. But good luck to the Celts tomorrow, and I'll be back tomorrow night. Hell hell.